Whose house? Rat's house.
Hey, we're here today. I can't believe it took me this long. Sorry again for another late stream, but we're just gonna try out looking at a Echo. So yeah, Echo. Let's see how let's see how that goes. I suppose. Yeah. New look. As you guys can see. If you're watching on the VOD, hello. Yeah. YouTube VODs versus D-Live VODs and all that great stuff. But yes, hello YouTube and D-Live. Nice to see you both. So yeah, geez. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing today other than just having some fun. I don't know what this visual novel is. I just heard good things about it. I've heard it's been more of a... it's a horror game, but there are some, like, romantic elements kind of mixed in. It's like a... I don't know. It's strange. Let me take a look at something I need to see. And, here we are. Okay, perfect. There we go. That's one quick little thing that I just had to do. Alright. Okay, good. I guess I'll just, I don't know, just relax for a bit today until we actually get the thing going. Excuse me. Alright. So, I just want to try this game out for myself. It should be pretty fun, if anything. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah. I guess we might as well just get started on that right now then, huh? Alright, where is my... Okay, there that is. Let's move this stuff around for a sec as I, obviously do things off screen. Here we go. And we are ready. I want to have fun with this. I have no idea what this is, but I want to have fun with it. I think we might as well just get started, honestly. I'm not really sure what I could, like, possibly wait for. Besides, it's like, I started at a very weird, dumb time anyway, so, yeah. Let me just get some water. I think it's these moments that I have to be careful of. Yeah. Maybe I could just, like, play a... I wish I could play, like, a primer game. Like, something that I could just, pop open and idly play as we just kind of, like, wait and stuff and whatnot. I probably could, actually. Like, I could just probably pop on Yoshi's Island if I wanted. Yeah. I could probably just pop right on Yoshi's Island. Just, like, right here. Or not Yoshi's Island, probably, not Paper Mario. Yoshi's Story, yeah, that's it. Yoshi's Story. That game. I wouldn't mind doing that. Just as we kind of get things started. Just one little bit as I try that out. I'm actually fairly curious now. One quick little second as I look for a game. Is there a Yoshi Story over there? No, it's a Toy Story. Turok, Body, Harvest. None of these are things I want. Where is my Yoshi Story? Oh, heck. I wanted to do Yoshi Story again. There it is. There we be. Ah, good old Conquer. I actually would not mind popping Conquer on just to kind of run around it and have some fun in. To kind of mess with. That'd be fun too. It's actually kind of a neat thing. Let's see here. Up. Of course that stuff falls down. Alright. Thanks. Thank you, past me, for booby trapping everything. Oh, just the biggest booby trap. There we are. Kind of getting started. Was Yoshi's Story not starting? I was hoping it would. I was wanting to, like, just kind of relax for a bit. With, like, a pre-game thing. It's funny, I almost feel like I would rather play some Yoshi Story. That would be fun. Let me see. As far as I can tell, this is not starting. Oh man, that sucks. Yoshi Story, of course, has to give me some trouble. One of my favorite little N64 games, because, yeah, why not? Oh well, I guess I can't get Yoshi Story started. There's a nice little blue screen, like, breaking up the composition, why not? Yeah, that dumb stuff. Oh shit. There we go. There we are. Wow. Haha. Yoshi's Story. One of my favorites of all time. Yeah, page 5. Because I've got no shame. Ooh, I got them all unlocked. We'll look at 4. What Shy Guy? Ooh, I love Shy Guy Ship. Shy Guy Ship is great. Yeah. So we've got a total of 5 minutes to play. Why not? I forgot last time I really sucked. Yeah, I majorly sucked. One quick little thing. There we go. Yeah, I'm surprised how much I sucked last time. Luckily, I don't have to take too long with this. Just kind of enough is good. Oh, shit. Shit. I had to get rid of that. God, that fucking scares me. Yeah, nothing here that I want. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, I can already tell that Shy Guy's place is... It's been a long time since I played this. I love, like, the adorable look of the environment. Look at the stuff in the background. It's so very... I love, like, the hint at shading. The hint at shading with, like, the little lines in the clouds. And the hint at highlights. This really is so well done. It'd be neat to see, like, I don't know. I'm just glad that Yoshi games still kind of try for a neat art style. But I'll always miss the 2D sprites. Nothing better than that. Because hell yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, screw that. Honestly, this is probably my favorite level. Just because it's so hard to get to, but I feel like it's very fun. Like, it's rewarding. Like, compared to everything else here, like, everything else here is a water level. So you get, like, you earn the one non-water level in this section. It's really nice. It's like, wow. It's kind of like a little oasis in a desert. And yeah, I like that. It's a little desert oasis. And so far, we are at 7 minutes. Alright, cool. Gimme! I want it. It'll be nice to actually see what Echo is. I've got no idea what it's about. I'm excited to tell, though. Almost at that little minute mark. I kind of like the idea of just doing a break game. I kind of like this as a break game. That makes some sense, honestly. Just a kind of little break from all the horror visuals and whatnot that's going to be happening. I honestly don't... It's a furry visual novel, but it's got, like, horror elements. It's very strange. It's also a non-dating focused furry visual novel, which is kind of neat. Oh, yep, go down there. I don't believe I want to go down there with them. No, sir. No, sirree. Alright. Well. Cute. Awesome. Just like a minute left. I like how you can just barely see that the stem on the heart fruit. The pixels are just so very small. Even smaller on stream, but yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah! They all turned into my favorite fruit. This game has some nice little details. I like that. It's stuff like this that I actually want to research more. Like, I want to look into, like, stuff like this just to see, like, who made it. Like, where are they at now? That kind of stuff. I love the small little details in games like this. Also, for a game that's so very pretty lighting-wise, the shadow on the little, the Goonies here are just kind of like, I don't know, a little ugly? Oh shit, oh that was close. That was very close. Oh, that was even closer. Yeah, fuck this place. Screw you! Oh shit. Oh my god, that was so close. And with that there, we can actually go on to the next game, I think. Yeah, let's actually try some Echo, and then maybe we could do this. Hey, Oscar! No, you're not late. You're not late. Nice to see you. We're just starting. Yeah. We're starting, and we have like a little Yoshi going on there. Oh, okay. So I now see a new visual quirk. Let me change up the title thing just so that it doesn't block anyone. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. This thing will be weird. Hopefully, okay, cool. We got it. Yeah, but it's good to see you. I just wanted to do a little Yoshi before we got started today, because I felt like, you know, it'll be a great thing to wait, occupy my time with, and just kind of, I don't know, feel nice. Just, in general, just feel nice to play. Because, yeah, I like this game. This game's really neat. But now we're doing Echo tonight, Oscar, so I'm not sure exactly what Echo is, other than just a horror game of sorts. It's a horror visual novel starring furries, so I'm kind of interested. Let's turn off this TV so wonderful Yoshi music doesn't reach my eardrums. And now let's oh, I think the Echo stuff was playing too. Oops, my god. I always forget that. I always forget to turn off like the PC audio. Oh well, that's my bad. That really is just my bad. But yeah. Oh, you do know a bit about it? That's cool. It's it has some romantic elements in it, but it's not necessarily intended. It's like more horror novel focused, I think. So it's just I don't know. It seems kind of neat. Seems kind of neat in general. There we go. Look at you. I love the look of this. And full screen. Hell yeah. Exactly, it's more horror. That's exactly it. Well, I'm excited to see what this is. Let's get into it. Hopefully I do a good job presenting the game. And, yes, let's just, let's have some fun with that, shall we? And new game. This is exciting. Because I heard good things about this. Good things indeed. New. Who's that?
I knew you'd be back. You all come back eventually. Why do you try to run away in the first place? It doesn't matter. Even though you're here, you're going to try and run again. Just stop. Because just like this town, you're only moving in circles.
Saturday. Oh yeah, you can bet I'm gonna have fun with this. Yep, it looks just like Arizona. It looks just like a road in Arizona. I might have driven on this road before too. Look at this shit. I love the background. I love what they did with it, with the photos. It looks nice. Yeah, Mom, I brought it. No, I've got everything. No, TJ's with us. We picked him up yesterday. No, I did call you yesterday. There was no answer. Fine, yeah. I'll try more than once next time. So Of course they're clean! Listen, I'm driving right now, so... Yeah, so I shouldn't be on the phone, should I? I'm gonna hang up. Okay. Love you too. Bye. I sigh and finally hang up the phone, dropping it on my lap. TJ, next to me in the passenger seat, stretches back and scratches behind his ear.
Oh, that's cute. It's been a while since I've seen your mom. How is she?
I shrug. Fine, I think. She wouldn't tell me if she wasn't anyway. TJ taps a foot against the dashboard before yawning.
Wow, feels like we've been driving for days.
Normally, TJ wasn't one to whine, but the long drive was obviously getting to him. It was getting to all of us, honestly. I looked over at him. We're almost there. Why don't you listen to some music or something?
My phone's been dead for the past 2 hours. I didn't know it would take us 8 hours to get there.
I sigh. Whether that dig was purposeful or not, I still feel a little embarrassed. I'll admit, I got us lost for a few hours. Route 93 is hard to find, even with the GPS. It's no wonder that Echo's in the state that it's in.
You should have bought a book. Those don't run out of batteries, you know.
I look up into the rearview mirror and see Jenna holding up a hefty book titled Cognition. TJ sighs.
All of my books are on my phone.
Why don't you listen to the radio then? TJ starts to reach for the dial.
Don't bother. All we get out here are hick stations. I have some music on my phone, though. Do you have an AUX cable, Chase?
In this clunker? No, but like I said, we're almost there. Just having the three of us here is a little awkward, unbalanced. I wonder if completing our little group will bring back that old chemistry. Thinking about seeing Carl, Flynn, and Leo again makes my heart skip a beat. Take exit 121 to Flint Road. I jerk back to present and press on the brakes as I swerve onto the exit ramp.
Whoa!
Sorry.
Chase, come on, pay attention.
TJ adds a little giggle to lighten the chastisement, but my face gets hot anyway. Hey, me and Jenna went 3 hours out of our way to pick you up from CCU. You could have taken the bus.
No, I'm grateful. I'd just rather not... I'd rather this not be the place that I die.
We continue down Flint Road for about 15 minutes in silence while avoiding the ever-increasing number of plot holes in the road. I think we're all a little nervous now as we get closer to our destination. Unsurprisingly, there isn't another car in sight.
You guys excited?
I look at my rearview mirror again and see that Jenna's put down her book, staring out of the window. I actually haven't given a whole lot of thought as to how I feel about the whole thing. You know, I'm nervous. It's been a while since we've all been together. Think things will be the same?
I'm at Echo. Are you excited to go back?
Oh. I didn't really know how to answer that. Is excited the right word? It sure as hell is stressful.
Look, as long as we can go for a hike. I don't want to be sitting around in the motel all day.
Well, it beats having a heat stroke in the desert. Are you seriously hiking the trail?
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. At least I know Chase will come.
TJ smiles at me, raising his brows. It's too hard to say no to such an eager face. At least right now. Yeah, of course.
Anyway, it sounds like you've only got the boys on your mind, Chase. Leo, maybe?
Make a slight right onto Lake Emma Road. I ignored Jenna, pretending to be distracted while adjusting the GPS. A few more minutes of silence pass before Jenna speaks up again.
So, this news thing you're making, what's it about exactly?
I swerve a little to avoid another plot hole. It's a news packet. If you remember, there was that one crazy thing that happened here in the 1920s. I read a little bit about it, and it's pretty fucked up.
Come on, Chase, language.
Just thought I did a little more digging. Honestly, though, I just need to make something that looks good enough to pass with.
Well, that sounds kind of fun. Are you going to have enough time to hang out? I know Leo made some plans.
This whole thing was Leo's idea, actually. When I told him that I'd be coming down to Echo for spring break, he suggested that we'd use it all as an excuse to have a reunion. He says that hasn't been the same since the three of us left. Yeah, I should. I just need some B-roll and shots of the old creepy locations. Shouldn't take too long. I catch a flash of blue and see the lake to our right. The conversation dies down a bit, and pretty soon we're all lost in our own thoughts. Finally, we round a bend and I start to catch some glimpses of the town. The tall, rusted signs for the gas station and motel loom over the rest of the old community. Lake Emma Road merges right onto the main street, where the motel is at. Soon enough, we're turning into the parking lot. There are only a few other cars in the parking lot. I park in the closest spot next to the door and switch off the ignition, relieved to be done with the driving. I sit back for a moment, rubbing my eyes. Oh, God, I hope you're grateful, TJ. I never want to drive that long again.
Thanks, Chase.
TJ hops out of the car, clearly happy to be out.
Yeah.
TJ puts his paws to his back and stretches out from toes to ear tufts, and I hear a few cracks.
Gosh, it feels good to be out of there.
I smile as I follow him out and stretch as well, though less flamboyantly. It's good to see TJ reverting back to his old cheerful self.
Alright, I made the reservations, so I'll check us in. You boys want to bring in our stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Me and TJ head around to the truck of the car, getting our bags and camera equipment while Jenna heads inside. I'm pleasantly surprised. While it's a bit musty, the room is spacious and generally clean, a lot more than I was expecting from a town like Echo. Although I've lived in town for most of my life, I've never actually been in the motel. I mean, why would I?
Hey, this is nice. And 2 double beds.
Yeah, thought I'd get one of the nicer rooms, since everything here is dirt cheap.
TJ sets its bags down on the bed.
So I guess this'll be me and Chase's bed. Jenna can have her own, obviously.
That's nice of you. Anyway, here are our keycards.
She hands us both our key cards, which I slip into my back pocket.
So, when are we gonna eat? I'm starving.
My stomach grumbles. We haven't eaten since breakfast, and it's late afternoon at this point. I pull up my phone, checking out my texts with Leo. Leo said he's gonna get us some sandwiches from the dinner.
Oh, the diner. Did you tell?
Yes, diner. Yes, I told him to substitute the bread with lettuce for yours, TJ.
Nice.
Alright, well, I've texted everyone that we're here. Let's at least unpack. It's going to get crowded, and I don't want all of our stuff in the way.
Half an hour later, we've got all our stuff packed away in the motel drawers. Now I'm sitting on the bed toying with my camera equipment while TJ watches TV and Jenna organizes her schoolwork.
You know you're on vacation, right? And didn't you already get into grad school? You should relax.
That's exactly why I need to be keeping up.
There's a knock at the door, and being the closest, I get up to answer it. I'll get it. I look through the peephole excitedly and see a beanie cap with a pair of some familiar horns poking through it. I grin as I unlock the door and swing it open. Carl!
Chase.
Is that the right voice for him? Let's think for a minute. Humana, humana, humana. You know what? Maybe that'll fit. Any voice will work, but I just kind of want to give it some character. So yeah. Maybe something a little deeper. Maybe he's got a bit of a smooth tone to him. I slap my paws with him and pull him into a big ol' hug, and immediately get a whiff of the pungent smell of pot. Despite that, his embrace is warm and plush, and his belly squishes against my body like a pillow through his jacket. There's an underlying sturdiness, though, and I feel his biceps bulge around my shoulders. Had he been working out? I put my paws on his shoulders and push him back, looking him over. He's changed a bit since I've last seen him. He's definitely a bit bulkier, and the fur on his face is just a bit shaggier. Let me look at something. Alright, cool. His eyes are a little red, and his expression's a little glazed, like he's daydreaming about someplace far away from here. Oh, still getting blazed, I see.
You know it.
His joking nature drops a bit as he gives me a genuine smile.
It's good to see you again.
I feel warm inside as I smile back. You too.
Is that Carl I hear?
Carl and I step back into the room, the ram remaining slouched as we do.
Hey, Jenna.
Carl, have you been?
Not bad, just living life like I'm a bee.
It sounds like he's starting to sing the lyrics to a song, but he trails off as we look at him expectantly. He just smiles back. Huh?
Hey, it's that TJ.
Aye. Though he's smiling happily, TJ outright is crinkling his nose.
Still up to your old habits, huh?
Carl shrugs. I'm starting to remember that it's something he does a lot. It's his answer to almost everything. He gets quiet for a moment, then I clap my paws together. So, what have you been up to, Carl? You're not online that often. Carl shrugs.
Just hanging out.
Must be kind of boring considering it's Echo.
Not going outside helps.
You've been able to find a job? I know they closed the old quarter market you used to work at.
Yeah, been kinda hard since pretty much everything's closing around here. On top of that, I still don't have a car that can get me to Peyton.
Oof, that's right. You crashed the one your parents got you.
TJ grins sympathetically, but Carl hunches further into himself, looking sulky.
Man, don't kill my vibe.
What about school? Been thinking about going back?
No, not really, maybe.
Carl's starting to lose that faraway look as he narrows his eyes.
You should. You went for, what, a semester? That's not really enough time to tell if you're really cut out for college. Classes are easier to get a handle of once you get used to it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't exactly the schoolwork that was the problem.
You could try smoking less weed. That might help.
Whoa? Is this... Was I set up for an intervention or something?
Carl looks over at me as if asking for help. Hey, don't look at me. I had to deal with them for the past 10 hours.
Yeah, I guess I just forgot how naggy they can be.
That's because we care about you, Carl.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Carl has been missing you ever since you left school.
Yeah, and I've been missing him too. Carl and I were in the same class throughout school, and as a result, we entered college together. We even roomed together for that one semester, which was a lot of fun. Of course I had missed him. Carl seems pretty eager to get off the topic, though.
Speaking of school, did you get accepted into Western Jinnah?
Yep. Going into experimental psych. I started fall.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Congrats.
Carl turns back to me.
And you're into journalism, right?
He looks over the equipment, looking confused.
What's all this?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the reasons why I'm out here. I'm doing a news segment on Echo.
Sounds like the feel-good movie of the year, Chase.
That's what you get out of the feel-good town of the century, Carl.
Yeah.
Carl scratches his muzzle before turning to TJ.
And you're doing what again? Sports, something, Bible Olympics.
Athletic training, but yeah, it's a Christian school.
Carl gives him a thumbs up.
Super. So we gonna eat? I'm hungry as hell.
Hell's a little extreme there, Carl. Not even you can be that hungry.
Huh, sure. Where's Leo? He bringing the sandwiches, right?
It's actually just texted me that he's here. He was picking up Flynn.
So we're all gonna be here, just like old times.
TJ almost looks like that little kid Lynx again, his ears twitching around with excitement.
Oh, there they are.
I grip the bedspread and watch as Carl moves around the corner to open the door. I hear it open, followed by the distinctive, deep, brassy voice of Flynn. 2 new characters. Okay. This is okay. So doing a lot of male character voices is a challenge, and I will try not to make it distracting. So let's just let's have some fun with this. Deep and brassy voice, huh? Deep and brassy. Brassy? What is brassy?
Any case. Hey, why are you getting the door, fatty?
To get my sandwiches, dick face. I've got the munchies like a mother. What are they?
Leo has them. There he is. Hey.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Hey, they all in there? My heart skips a beat and my tail thumps the bed as I hear Lero's high baritone. There's some bustling before they start coming around the corner, bringing me face to face with the rest of my childhood friends. Flynn comes in first, sinking in casually, his posture loose and relaxed, slouching. Hey, Power Dog. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. We just had 2 new characters enter the fray. But yeah. Okay, yes, there is a mask now. You can't tell who I am. But yeah, we're just doing a short 2-hour stream. There is, oh my god, only 30 minutes. We already spent 30 minutes on this. Holy crap. But yeah, it's just a short preview stream just to maximize people being able to watch the full thing on the VOD. But yeah, good to see you. Unlike Carl, though, his slouch makes him look like he just doesn't give a fuck, as opposed to just trying to make himself seem smaller. If you want to know a little bit about Echo, we just arrived to town. So we are a whole bunch of friends reuniting in this old desert town called Echo. Main character is a journalist who is doing a little segment on Echo, and we're just kind of getting familiar with each other again. But yeah, crime fighter Red. I like it. Back to it. He wasn't a shy guy, as evidenced by his open shirt.
And who you calling a dick face?
Flynn knocks Carl on his head, which makes a loud thunking sound, but Carl just grins throughout.
Hey, Jenna. Hey, Chase.
He nods to each of us in turn, rubbing his knuckles. Immediately following him, his arms wrapped around 2 big brown paper bags, is Leo. Oh, this is Leo. Okay, hello, Leo. Nice to see you. He smiles over the top of his bags, sweeping the room, his eyes along with his tail, rectangular ears. He pauses on Jenna, then TJ, before finding me. His face immediately breaks into a full-on grin as he walks over to the bed I'm sitting on, setting down the bags. As he comes to a stop in front of me, I reach out my paws to slap his, like I did with Carl. Instead, he grabs it to yank me up into the tight bear hug, nearly squeezing the air out of me. Oh yeah, you're seeing like the Super Mario Sunshine. I saw that. He reminded me. Really? He reminded you of me? That's interesting. I noticed that he was playing that. Well, hopefully he has a fun time with that. But yeah. Headed towards Corona Mountain. Yeah, this is a very weird time to be playing Super Mario Sunshine. Yes, I agreed. You don't even need to mention that. Wouldn't it be funny if YouTube videos gets demonetized because Flood says like Corona? That'd be hilarious, actually. Okay, so I want to give him a new voice because I don't like the high-pitched voice that I gave him before. So
Chase.
Sure, he'll have that voice. Why not?
Man, I missed you.
Just like Carl, it seems like Leo's gotten bigger and stronger. He lifted me up without even trying. The tension I've been feeling in my chest melts away like an ice cube on Echo's sidewalk. Everything's fine. All of that worry about how he was going to react was for nothing. The hug is lasting kind of long, though. I can feel everyone else looking at us.
And just like that, he forgets that the rest of us exist.
Leo finally does pull back then, smacking me on the shoulder before turning to greet Jenna and TJ. I shakily sat back down, feeling a whole lot better now that the introductions are out of the way.
Fuck. Leave Carl in a room for 5 seconds and it smells like a goddamn skunk sauna.
The weed is just oozing out of your paws at this point.
Flynn theoretically plugs his nostrils as he pulls the window open a crack. Carl rolls his eyes, slouching further and jamming his paws in his pocket.
Ah, shut up. I think everyone here agrees that my smell is a lot better than your shedding. Nothing like leaving a big pile of lizard dust on the couch for the next person. And by the way, dude, that skunk comment was speciesist.
And the lizard comment wasn't? Okay, that might be his voice. Oh, God. Flynn, I'm trying to exercise my throat muscles. Flynn turns to me, fanning air in from the outside with his hand.
What's worse, Chase? Carl's smell or my dusting off?
Huh, dusting off? That's not a thing. Try seeing white flakes that chip off me every step I take. Except for when I scratch my ass. Then it's like a fucking blizzard of dead skin. And some of it might land in your mouth. That's what you should call it.
Hey, you furball. Do it. It's just less noticeable. Either way, it's hot in here.
Aren't you cold-blooded?
Someone turned down the goddamn thermostat. Somebody turned down your language.
TJ says it to him like a cheerful kindergarten teacher pep-talking a student to using his words. They stare at each other for about 5 seconds, Flynn's expression like a stone, while TJ slowly loses his smile.
Well, Jesus butt fucking Christ, I'll be sure to watch that. Flynn.
TJ actually looks pretty upset, but Flynn was just reaching out and yanks him down into a chokehold. That much shorter, Link's easily dwarfed by the lizard.
Shut up, you priss. I'm just kidding.
TJ half-heartedly fields the hold. I guess TJ thought he'd get some respect now that we're all adults.
Hey, ow! You still said it.
Normally I might step in to help, but it's been a while since I've seen Flynn and TJ go at it. It's just too funny to stop.
Look, no lightning. So much of your almighty Oof!
TJ jabs his elbow back into Flynn's stomach, doubling the lizard over for a second.
See? God works in mysterious ways. Ow!
Flynn reaches up and grabs one of the tufts of TJ's ears and yanks, earning a yowl from the feline.
Foul species features.
Species features was something we made up to make our tussle a little more fair. It involves a distinct physical difference between our species that might pose as a disadvantage to, like, tails, or ears, or TJ's ear tufts. Carl was especially keen on it. Being a ram, his horns are often used as a leverage against him.
TJ, come on, get your sandwich.
TJ finally yanks himself out of Flynn's grasp, smoothing down his fur as he tries to look as dignified as possible.
Well, I can see things haven't changed.
With that, TJ walks over to the table to eat his food. I can't help but laugh. I think TJ won that by battle, technically.
Oh, did he? You might have fouled too. Flynn's got a soft lizard belly.
Flynn snorts, rubbing his stomach.
Don't even try to tell me about soft, asshole. It looks like you swallowed a beach ball.
Speaking of which, food!
Fuck. I gotta say, this is very strange. Hey, Oscar, what's up? Go back to the Big Eagle. You go back to the Big Eagle, man. Don't worry about that. I am just more or less trying to hone my skills with this, and also enjoy the visual novel at the same time. But yeah, see you later. We pass the bags around to get our food. A chicken sandwich for Jenna and TJ, roast beef for me and Leo, and there are 3 veggie burgers that almost take up their own bag for Carl. Flynn, as usual, isn't eating anything. I think it's a lizard thing. I keep my seat on the bed as I unwrap the foil around my sandwich. Smell wafts up from the beef, making my mouth water, and bring some memories up with it. We'd all spent many nights at the old diner. I can remember the night me and Carl graduated. Leo took us straight from Peyton High to the diner, skipping out the all-night graduation party for sandwiches and milkshakes. I take a huge bite, and a yellow bell pepper slips out of the other end, landing back in the foil.
Whoa, slow down. You're gonna choke.
Suddenly, I'm almost falling over to the side as something heavy plants itself next to me on the bed. I quickly grab a napkin and bring it to my muzzle, wiping away the grease. Hey, Leo. Leo chuckles at my embarrassment and unwraps his own sandwich.
Sorry if the bread is a little soggy. Robo over there took a sweet time getting it into the car.
Hey, working in the town hall is serious business. I don't have a family business I can just waltz out of just like you.
Hey, Flynn. I bet that I can eat this whole burger in 1 minute.
Is that a fucking joke? Of course you can.
Yeah, but what about 2 burgers?
Don't joke, Carl.
I decide to keep the conversation on Leo's job, since that's the whole reason why he's still here. Is business still pretty good?
Yes, Peyton's getting bigger, so it's the number of customers.
I guess it's a good thing your dad moved it out of Echo, huh?
For sure, the place is turning into a ghost town. It probably will be in another decade or 2.
By some standards, it already is. I take another bite of my sandwich, biting right into another bell pepper. I'd forgotten how good the diner food is. I noticed TJ sitting next to Jenna at the table, picking unhappily at his lettuce-wrapped chicken. Jenna seems to as well as she leans towards him.
What's wrong, TJ?
Hey, it's just... Never mind, it doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
It's just the mayo. I forget they put it on everything here.
Jenna lifts up the bun in her sandwich, expecting its contents.
None of the mayo really got on my chicken. Here.
No, you don't have.
Jenna picks up TJ's sandwich and swaps out his grilled chicken. She rips off the layer of mayo-tainted lettuce from his lettuce bun before swapping her chicken in.
There, how's that?
Yeah, thanks.
It's then that TJ looks up and see Leo and I staring at him. I see his ears flatten in embarrassment.
What?
Nothing, TJ. Nothing.
So, are your parents still letting you live in the house here in Echo?
Yes, we actually tried to sell it last year, but of course no one bought. I think 2 people came to look, but took off once they saw the town. Anyway, my parents are living in Baden in a house twice as big as the old one.
Well, it must be pretty cool living in your own house.
My parents aren't constantly breathing down my neck, so that's, nice.
Leo's already finished his first sandwich, and now he's unwrapping the second. He sure could eat a lot. How are you doing, Oscar? Having a good night? If anything, I hope it gets better. I think I'm getting a little bit more into the groove of the voices. How many people are still here, anyway? In the town, I mean. Leo takes another bite, and I hear the crunch of peppers through his muzzle. He chews thoughtfully for a moment before swallowing.
Not too sure. Of course I know almost everyone here, but most don't actually live here anymore. Most everyone turned their old house into a sort of vacation now.
Really? Why? I can't imagine anyone coming here for a vacation. Unless your hobbies are meth or dying of heat stroke.
Well, they got all their old houses here, and it's cheap to build. And the town is actually trying to turn that old lake into a recreational thing.
Lake Emma?
Yeah, they're putting in docks and stuff.
Huh. Lake Emma is the old reservoir just a few minutes outside of town. As kids, we used to play around there all the time. It was generally an ugly place. Dead fish on the banks, a terrible smell, and mosquitoes everywhere. Then again, it could have changed since then. I haven't been there in a while. 12 years now? None of us have. Thinking about the lake is making my stomach tighten again, forcing away my appetite in the process. It's been so long at this point, I need to learn to get over things. Actually, that reminds me. The others are pretty deep in their own conversations, but I lower my voice anyway, leaning into Leo. Hey, Leo. Leo turns to me. He had been in the middle of a massive bite, and now he had a bell pepper half leaning out of his muzzle. It throws off my train of thought for a second. So yeah. I wanted to know... I want to get some shots of the lake for my project, you know? Leo ducks his head to pull out the pepper from his muzzle, only to shove it back in a second time. He chews for a while, but his ears are still tipped towards me, so I go on. It's kind of important to Echo's history. Anyway, you told me that on Monday everyone's free during lunch. I can tell by the set of Leo's ears that he knows where I'm going, and he's not too into the idea. I quickly go on. Of course we don't have to, but it's been a long time, and if the town is making it look better, it could be fun.
Listen, Chase.
I feel my face burn a little under the fur. Sorry, it was a dumb idea.
No, Chase. If it were up to me, I'd definitely do it. It's just...
Leo looks towards Flynn, and I do as well, finding him still bantering with Carl.
It doesn't matter how fucking fast you eat. I'm not gonna be impressed.
He's got that classic Finn look on his face where he's pressing his lips together, trying not to smile.
What if I ate all 3?
You already eat most of the first one, so that's not gonna happen now, is it?
I look back down at my sandwich. I suddenly feel really guilty. Here I am, back after 3 years, just assuming that I know how everyone feels. Now I kind of feel like an imposter. Leo notices, as he always did, and nudges me with his shoulder.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's not your fault.
Suddenly, Leo's ears perk up, and I know he suddenly had an idea. His ears made him easily readable, just as reading people came easily to him. It made all the more impressive that he was just able to tell what most of us were thinking, considering my short, stubby ears. Or Flynn's lack thereof.
Listen, there's a cool little spot by the river that's actually pretty close to the lake. We could have lunch, and you could walk over and get your shots.
The idea makes me feel a bit better. Oh, alright, that could be fun. Also, this motel doesn't have a pool, so it'd be really nice to swim in something.
Otters in their waters. Anyway, I have to ask Flynn, but I think he'll be okay with it.
What would really impress me is if you didn't eat the rest.
You're a funny guy, Flynn.
Carl goes right back to shoving the next burger into his mouth as Flynn looks in mild disgust. He suddenly notices us watching him and gives us an odd look, but that slowly morphs into a smirk as he focuses on Leo.
You're looking pretty happy there, Leo. Not like you've been for the last 3 years.
I furrow my brow in confusion and look up at Leo. I see him shift and he's giving Flynn a look that I don't quite understand.
Well, of course I'm happy to see us all back together again.
I look from Leo to Flynn, and it's pretty easy to imagine a bolt of electricity between them.
You should have seen him, Chase. He goes on days without smiling.
Agreed. Leo's been kind of a dick ever since you guys left.
And isn't Jenna a counselor? Hey, you should have a session with Leo.
I'm still an undergrad. I'm not going to counseling anyway. That would just make me sad.
Thanks, Moobot. Thanks, Moobot. Oh, wait! Are you Master Maestro? Kuna Banana. I'm just guessing. But hello there, Kuna Banana. Nice to see ya. Anyway, welcome to stream. We're doing echo stuff today. Cause yeah, I'm still getting used to the voices. I feel like I've really gotten a handle on them. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing where this goes. We're just a whole bunch of old friends meeting up, which is kind of a nostalgic idea to me. We're meeting up in this old dying town in like the Midwest. Southwest, sorry. It came Stephen Boyo. Hi, Stephen Boyo. Nice to see you. yeah, aka Maddie. Well, it's good to see you, Maddie. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not used to everyone's like name. I have a lot of people that go thanks, Moobot, but yeah. But yeah, you do that the most. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Anyway, if you want to know what this is, we're just a bunch. It's a horror visual novel, and I'm not exactly sure where we're going. The main character has a camera and is a journalist, so very well we might be getting some weird psychological horror stuff. But we still have to get to the actual scary happening, so I want to see that. But yeah, back to it. TJ is busy trying to hold a sandwich together and eat it at the same time. Not very successfully, but he looks up as well.
Leo, depressed? It's hard to imagine you not smiling. You seemed fine online.
Has something been going on, Leo?
For the first time since he's arrived, Leo looks truly uncomfortable. You don't see him like that very often. Flynn, on the other hand, has his trying not to smirk face on. Leo pauses, pinned down by everyone's eyes in the room, then he takes a frustrated breath.
Can't people be sad sometimes? Yes, things have been more. Have been harder, but I'm fine. I think it's pretty clear that Flynn...
Leo flicks his long muzzle at the lizard.
...is just trying to get some reactions.
Sure, I'm just saying your bacterial self. But seriously, it's great.
Leo makes a snorting sound. I'm about to ask Leo what's so stressful when he lifts his paw up again to take a bite of his almost finished sandwich. I go quiet as I look at his paw. A silver anchor tied around his wrist with leather. The word otter is etched into the shank of the anchor. The name Chase is engraved into the stock. Why was he still...
Chase!
I jump as TJ's voice breaks through my trance, bouncing onto the bed as I come down. Leo looks at me as the bed wobbles, an eyebrow raised. TJ puts a paw to my muzzle.
Oops. Sorry, you were just kind of staring off into space.
Just thinking about stuff. What's up?
We were just talking about the last game. Didn't you tell me that you saw that movie on the drive here?
I really don't get you right now, TJ. The last game was the worst Lions Brigade movie.
You're just mad because they didn't follow the comics. Yeah, Carl. As a movie, it was just better. I'm sure the comics are great too, though. Nah, the comics are shit. Carl tried showing them to me once.
See, this is the problem. They never follow the source material, and no one cares because they have no respect for the originals, man.
You're way too picky, Carl. The last game was a great movie.
Not you too, Leo.
I don't know. I think the Lions Brigade was always a bit too violent for me. What with all this shooting and punching. I've always liked the Trinity Weasel. She's the thinking man's superheroine.
Carl waves his paw dismissively.
The Trinity comics have always been pretty lame. They're jerk-off fodder for lonely nerds, and so's the movie.
Huh? You mean like yourself?
Hey.
Flynn, we're talking about the Trinity now? Julia Blasco, she's hella fine. Never seen an ass like hers on a weasel before.
That's just because it's fake.
No, I just like the story. It's really kind of deep if you think about it. It was hard to think about when half the shots are slow-mo and she's doing all these flips and back ends and shit.
I didn't think that was your sort of thing anyway. Flynn?
Flynn doesn't have time to retort before Jenna shifts her attention, seemingly continuing to TJ's defense.
But come on, Trinity does have more story going on than your average superhero movie. I think it's great that you like your character overall. You know, overall the meatheads.
Yeah. They just stuck all the boob shots to reel in the dummies.
Of course that's easy for someone like you to say. I see what's going on here. Maybe you should watch Lucha Lobo, TJ. He's shirtless the whole time.
TJ's ears goes flat, tufts pointed at the ground.
I'd better stop with all the saucy talk. I'd only get way too awkward if he has got sprung.
We all groan in unison, but TJ shoots right back.
And knowing you, that's exactly what you want to happen, isn't it, Flynn?
That gets a few surprised chuckles.
Damn, TJ, where'd that come from?
It isn't that particularly good of a joke, but that it came from TJ is what makes it so funny. I don't think I've ever heard him talk like that. Even Flynn can't keep from grinning a little bit. Dude, I've totally had moments like that. I've totally been a TJ before in my group of friends. I'm really enjoying this. We talk late into the afternoon. At this point, all of my worries have disappeared, leaving a happy, warm feeling in its place. It seems silly that I'd be so nervous earlier. In fact, I'm starting to look forward to the rest of the week.
Alright.
Leo steps forward, indicating that we should all shut up.
Now all we need to remember is that Chase is here to do his school project, so that comes first. But I did make a few other plans for things that we can do on his off time. I'm pretty sure all of us know that we're going to Southwest Adventures tomorrow, so I'll pick these two up.
He jerks his head towards Flynn and Carl.
Then swing by the motel to get you guys at 9, alright?
Oh, that sounds good.
Then I was thinking about doing some stuff in Peyton towards the end of the week, but we'll make those plans later. In between those times, we should find time to hang out as well. Make the most of this.
Leo looks about done, but suddenly snaps his fingers, as if remembering something.
Oh yeah, Jace, I saw you at a camera. Think you can get a pic of us? It'd be nice for all of us to have something that isn't camera phone quality.
Yeah, oh sure, I was messing with the self-timer earlier. Should be able to get it to work. After a few minutes of me adjusting the tripod and Leo adjusting everyone at the end of one of the beds, we managed to get into position. Alright, here it goes. I set the timer and fast walked to the spot Leo saved for me. Oh, it's so cute. Look at all of them. You can see the red in his eyes. I love it. God, that guy smokes so much weed. Carl. For the next 2 hours, we watch a movie on TV. Not really paying attention. Mostly catching up with each other and how we'd been. And speaking of catching up, I hope that you guys are having a fun night tonight. But yeah, we're just going to be, currently we have an hour left of this. So, like an hour-ish, yeah. So it should be pretty fun. Delicious water. But yes, hope you continue having a nice night, and I will just continue with this. If you have anything to share with me, just I don't know. I'm gonna always chat. But yeah, back to the story. It's not really a game, but the story. For the next 2 hours, we watch a movie on TV, not really paying attention, mostly catching up with each other on how we'd been. It's been good getting back to it, and it feels like we all just are picking up where it left off 3 years ago. It's really nice. Finally, at about 10, Leo, Carl, and Flynn head out. I spend the next 20 minutes tinkering with my equipment, making sure it's all in order for shooting the next day. Once TJ finishes getting ready for bed in the bathroom, I do as well before getting into bed. Head to toe with TJ. There's a soft glow in the corner as Jenna sits at the table reading something. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for her to go to sleep. Wholesome furry art is always amazing. Agreed. I appreciate it too. I appreciate all artists, and just seeing how if people can like properly express themselves and their ideas through their art. I don't know. To me that usually ends up in a pretty impressive piece, whether it's like whatever it is. I don't know. I'm just God, I talk like an art teacher. I talk like an art teacher sometimes. But yeah. No. Art's pretty cool. So, yeah. There's some neat art on Twitter and other places like that. Well, there's a lot of weird stuff on Twitter too. But anyway. There's a chain attached to my ankle as I walk away from the lake. My legs and feet coated in mud. I look back, seeing the chain snaking back around the rocks and reeds before disappearing into the water. Looking ahead again, I see Leo. He's smiling, waving at me. I walk towards him and the chain stays slack, pulling easily out of the water. There's an anchor in the lake, I say. I stare at him, but he doesn't say anything and just keeps on smiling. I crouch on the rocks, wrapping the chain around my wrist a few times. Leo kneels next to me, rubbing my back and sticking out his arm to compare our bracelets, saying that everyone gets one. He seems happy, but now I'm stuck here. I can't even stand up to walk. Oh, that's weird. That's so strange. But yeah, Maddie, meet Oscar. Oscar Molina's pretty cool. Joins me for a lot of these different visual novels and stuff. We met on Nekojishi. But that was a cool dream sequence. So now I'm stuck here, apparently. Stuck in this old, dying town that doesn't want to let anyone go. Peyton is about a bit of a distance away. To get there, you have to get on Route 93, which Flynn tells me isn't even called that anymore. That would make sense considering how it was impossible to find on the GPS. Anyway, to get to the city, you have to merge from the remnants of 93 onto the I-40, which runs straight through the city of Peyton. About 15 minutes from Peyton, we pull over to a rest stop, which sits at a higher elevation than Echo. If you're looking in the right direction, it gives you a great view of the town. I stand outside the old rundown restroom, a paw over my ear as I stand out to the desert. A distant, hazy view of a small group of buildings huddled together signals where the town is. From the vicarious distance, it looks small and harmless. Hard to imagine all the things that happen there.
Alright, how do I use this thing?
I look over and see Leo fumbling with the camera, obviously worried that he was going to break it. I walk over and show him how to use it, checking the white balance and exposure myself. I wasn't too good with cameras, but the equipment manager at the university had given me a quick lesson on how to do things. Alright, so I want you to zoom out from Echo slowly, and while you do that, I'm going to walk in frame, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Leo hoists the camera up and looks through the viewfinder, ears perked up and smiling. Alright, signal me when you're ready. I adjust the clip on my mic while Leo focuses the camera, then raises his paw, signaling that I should start. I walk into the frame, keeping one paw in my pocket and using the other one to gesture. I hope I don't look too awkward. I always feel like I do. Echo first began as a settlement in 1852 after James Hendrick discovered gold in a quartz deposit. The town quickly grew in size, and once it began to serve as a junction along Prescott Railway, it reached a peak population of 6,500 in 1877. It was at this point in time that a peculiar phenomenon of mass hysteria took over. Many say the reason this occurred was due to the discovery of a body within the gold mine and the circumstances surrounding that discovery. While not much is known about this event, what is known is that once it ended, a large portion of the population left Echo. Most of those who left settled in a nearby town of Peyton. However, the town still manages to prosper well enough until the 40s. That's when the government stepped in to shut down the mines as it became a federal law to divert all mining resources to the war effort. The town's population sharply declined shortly thereafter, and by the 1950s, it had dwindled approximately 2,000 people. A shutdown of the Prescott Railway from the 1960s, followed by the bypassing of Route 93 by the I-40 in 1986, was the final nail in the coffin for the town. By the 90s, the population had dwindled to just about 150 people. My goal, however, is to investigate the first event which led to this town's decline and possible demise. What happened in that mine almost 150 years ago? I've come to Echo and try to find out what information, if any, can be gleaned from the events of the past. I wait for a few seconds, then Leo looked at it. Is that good? Is that good?
Yeah. I don't know how to stop this, though.
Here, I'll show you. I walk over to take the heavy camera off Leo's paws.
That was pretty good. You want to be a reporter?
Maybe. I'd just rather write than be on a camera, though.
Yo, Chase!
Leo and I look up towards the car, greeted by a sight of bright white ram's ass hanging out the back window of Leo's van. I don't really react. I mean, despite being self-conscious about his weight, Carl is pretty shameless about stuff like this. I'd probably seen his naked butt more often than I'd seen Leo's, and that was saying something.
Make sure you get a shot of my... Hey!
At that moment, Flynn, who was sitting next to Carl in the back, reaches around and yanks the ram's pants down so that they hang out around his knees. Even though Carl's pretty quick to pull them back, I still get a pretty good view of his equally white balls dangling between his legs. Leo snorts, and I can see Flynn laughing his ass off while Carl punches him in the shoulder. Unfortunately for TJ, who was sitting in the middle row with Jenna, who was looking back at the time and probably got a much better view than I did. Now he's facing forward, covering his face, while Jenna sits next to him, reading a book, looking uninterested. Nearly 21, and he's still doing that, huh?
Yeah, it's a little more awkward without you there around, though.
We head back to the car, and I grab the camera bag from the passenger seat to put the camera away.
Hey, did you see my ass?
Oh, you saw more than that, buddy.
Your thing about the horrors of Echo, right? It'll be a perfect fit. Well, you can even fit it on the camera.
Yeah, I don't think I can fit that ass on the camera, Flynn. I stretched the camera back in the footwell before hopping in. Southwest Adventures is an amusement park right in the middle of Peyton. It's decent enough that people come not just from Peyton, but say 100 miles away to vacation here. Weird, there's a comment from YouTube that... Oh, you know what? Oh, I understand. Live chat. That is so weird. Dick move, Flynn. I know, dick move, Flynn. There we go. That's very strange. So I figured out something. The stupid YouTube chat... the YouTube chat holds comments back, and it's so dumb how it does that. I hate that. I hate that so much. Anyway, back to it. No more complaining about YouTube. Because of this, it's usually crowded, and today there was no exception. Families and their kids are everywhere. It's a generally nice day, sunny in the 80s, and it being on a Sunday added to the crowd. I didn't mind, though. The point of this is to hang out with my friends.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving. Let's get some funnel cakes.
Jesus, Carl, we just got here.
Hey, I didn't have breakfast.
You had breakfast, all right. A blunt with the side of the munchies.
It's no problem. You could do that while I plan out what we're doing.
Carl ambles off on his way to the funnel cake stand. I snagged one of the park maps from the entrance, and I hand that to Leo.
Alright, so usually when my family comes here, we go clockwise, hit all the rides.
That sounds like a plan.
It's pretty crowded today, so we probably won't be able to do everything, but in this order, I'll at least be able to ride Event Horizon.
You sure? The line's always so long for that ride.
JJ's looking up towards the tall, spiraling electric red steel roller coaster. It's definitely the most recognizable landmark in the park. You can see it from almost everywhere in Peyton.
Yep, fastest and tallest roller coaster in the West. I think it'll be worth it.
Oh!
TJ rubs his arms with one paw, the corner of his muzzle twitching a little bit. I had forgotten about that. He used to have a pretty pronounced motor tic where the corner of his mouth would twitch up over and over again. It used to be a constant thing, but it stopped once we entered middle school. I guess it hadn't completely gone away.
You alright, TJ? We could skip the big rides if you...
The hell? TJ, you're a fucking adult now.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just haven't been on a roller coaster in a while.
TJ snaps his head back towards us. He's all tensed up and the movement looks like a rubber band being snapped.
I'm riding all the rides with you guys.
TJ walks off, his paws shoved deep in his pockets. I feel bad for him, and I want to give him, give him out somehow, but that's when Carl comes back with his funnel cake. It's topped with ice cream, powdered sugar, and strawberries.
Anyone want to share?
Yeah, that looks real good.
No? Alright. I guess I'll have to eat the whole thing.
Great, now we gotta wait for Fat Ass to finish eating.
Carl pulls his face out of the cake. Even with his white fur, I could still see the powdered sugar clinging to his chin.
Nah. I can eat the line. You going on Event Horizon first? I'll wait an hour long, at least.
I know, God. The line ends up being 2 hours long, and by the time we get to the actual ride, I'm dying to get into a pool of any kind. To put it bluntly, an otter needs water. Part of the problem of living in Echo meant that we didn't have any kind of indoor pool system in our house, being as cheap as it was. We ended up having to get an outdoor swimming pool, which was a pain.
Nervous Chase.
I smirk at him. I've ridden it before, Leo. Though, your tail's kind of down. Sure you're not nervous?
Uh,
Come on, Leo, let's ride the front.
I don't know.
I watch as Jenna pulls Leo towards the front of the line, which is twice as long as all the others. I opt for the middle, and it just so happens that TJ comes with me. His tufted ears have been poking straight up the entire time, muzzle giving an occasional twitch. I lean over to him. There's an exit over there for people who, change their mind. I'll bet you could slip out without anyone knowing. It looks like not all of us are even going to be riding in the same train. TJ stares straight ahead, clutching onto the railing. I can see his sharp claws unsheathed, pressing into the metal and chipping away some of the red paint.
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yep, perfectly fine.
Well, we're in the middle, which is the best place to be if you don't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be able to get TJ to skip the ride, but it seems like he's pretty determined to do it for some reason. Finally, our train comes along, and I step in as two laughing and panting hyenas step out.
Oh my god, that was the most intense!
Holy shit, dude, I know. I never get scared on rides, and I almost fucking pissed myself.
And do a quick check on the seat to make sure there isn't any actual piss before sitting down. I looked up and see TJ standing on the verge of the platform, his eyes wide, 1 foot stuck out to get on. TJ? A bored-looking teenager fox comes by to check my lap bar, and I stick out my paw. Hey, wait! TJ, you getting on? The fox goes from looking bored to mildly annoyed. Hey, if you're getting on, you need to get on now. We can't hold up the entire ride for you, sir. The exit's that way, where other adventurers await. People are around us starting to notice. Unfortunately, Flynn, who's lined up with Carl towards the back, is paying very close attention, grinning like he knew this was going to happen.
Aw, TJ too scared. Guess you're a pussy after all.
Shut up, Flynn. Hey, TJ, when it gets real bad, just say to yourself, at least I'm not gonna die.
Actually, a few people have.
TJ! I yell at him, and that seems to jar TJ out of his trance. He almost falls into the car as he stumbles into it, fumbling with his shoulder restraint before the fox attendant sighs and leans down to do it for him. I can see the red on the inside of TJ's ears as he blushes, and I can feel my own ears burn a little from secondhand embarrassment. Now that it's too late, I realize that we shouldn't have started with this ride. We should have started with something smaller to build up his confidence. I'm jolted back as my train moves forward. Oh gosh. TJ's paws lashes out and latches onto my arms. Oh no. Oh no. What?
Oh no, why am I doing this?
I reach over to try and move his paw from my arm and back to the handle on the shoulder restraint. TJ, hold on to that! My arm! You're gonna...
Chase, quiet!
I pause, staring at the links. I'm not really used to hearing TJ yell. He's almost puffed out to twice his size.
I just need some quiet right now, and
Our train begins its ascent up the first hill, and I can feel TJ's claws prickling through my fur into the skin. He starts mumbling quietly to himself, his eyes closed. TJ, are you praying? He doesn't say anything, and as soon as we reach the apex of the climb, I give up on trying to move his paw and sit back, a little nervous myself. I really, really hope TJ doesn't completely lose it. I rinse the blood from my arm in a dirty theme park bathroom. It wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been, though TJ did start crying when we hit the first inversion. He had scratched the shit on my forearm, grabbing it with both paws once we started the descent. Unfortunately, Flynn and Carl were still on the platform when we rolled back to the boarding station. Flynn looked ready to lay into TJ again, but when he saw the tears, he had the decency to hold back. I helped the shaking Lynx out of the car, and somehow we managed to stumble into the bathroom, where he quickly hid in a stall. I should have forced him out of the exit. He'd always had anxiety problems, though I think we all believed it was a childhood thing he'd gotten over. I don't think he still takes his medication. Hey, TJ?
yeah?
We should probably get back. Leo texted me that they're all waiting by the ride.
Yeah, I'll be out in a second.
The cheerfulness in his voice is forced. I ignore the weird looks I'm getting from the other people in the bathroom and instead inspect my arm. The scratches are pretty superficial, so the bleeding has stopped. No one would notice it under a thick fur, even if it's tender as hell. I hear the stall door open behind me, and through the mirror I see TJ come out. He sees me looking at my arm, and his face crumples up again.
Chase, I'm sorry. Is it that bad?
I really don't want him to start crying again. TJ cried a lot when he was a kid. Almost every day. And even at 19, it seems like he's still pretty susceptible. Hey, it's fine. It's fine. Doesn't even hurt.
Well, that's good.
We stand there awkwardly for a few seconds, then I air out my shirt, which is starting to stick to my sweaty body. Listen, it's honestly getting way too hot for me to wait in lines all day. I think I'd rather just sit and watch some shows or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you want to do that with me? TJ's ears come up a little and he clutches his paws together, the fidgeting subsiding a bit.
Yeah, Chase, I think that'll be fun.
I can tell he's at least a little relieved. We both head out towards the back, and I spot the four of them waiting by the exit. I furrow my brow as I spot Carl crouched over on the ground, Jenna kneeling next to him and rubbing his back. Hey, everything all right? Jenna looks up, a sympathetic smile on her face.
Carl's not feeling too good.
You want to sit on a bench or something?
If I move, I'm gonna...
That's what you get for stuffing your face right before the ride.
Do you think they sell ginger pills here? Or a ginger ale, at least?
A joint would be nice.
There are some vendors over there. I'll go check.
I'm actually kind of glad everyone is preoccupied with Carl right now. Take some of the heat off TJ.
Let's move you to a bench. It'll be better if you're sitting down.
Slowly, Jenna and Leo lift Carl up, and now I can see from his face that he's really ill. To the average person, our little outing might already seem like a disaster, but this is pretty typical for us. Nothing ever went according to plan. We sit Carl down at a bench, and he bends over, his face in his hands as he moans softly. TJ comes back with a medium-sized cup in his paw. He sits next to Carl.
No ginger ale, but they did have some lime soda.
Carl takes it and sips it a bit before sitting back and belching.
Fuck it. I'm done, you guys.
What? What are you gonna do all day? Sit here?
Actually, me and Chase are gonna go and see some shows. You can come with us.
Guys, we were going to do this thing hang out with each other, remember?
Leave him. We're wasting time.
Flynn turns and walks off, his hands shoved in his pockets, hunched like a stone gargoyle. He definitely looks the part, being a lizard. Damn, that was probably a bit speciesist.
Well, we all have our phones. Text us, alright?
Yeah, sure. Jenna turns and follows Flynn, but Leo hesitates a moment. He looks at me before eventually turning to follow Flynn and Jenna. 5 minutes later, Carl's stomach settles to the point where he's able to get up and walk. At this point, I'm completely wiped out, and I just want to sit down. I point out to the first stage, we see, and they agree. I sigh and sigh gratefully when I finally sit down.
Wow, you look tired as shit.
I crack an eye open to see Carl giving me a sidelong glance. I didn't sleep very well in motel beds.
I actually woke up around 2. You were gone.
Now TJ's looking at me too, and I feel my gut clench for a second. Yeah. I tried to go for a walk down the street. Hoped it would get me tired.
Huh.
Well, if that happens again, you can just walk over to my house. I'm up like at 3 every night.
Wow, why? Carl shrugs, leaning back and sticking his hooves up against the chair in front of him, earning him a dirty glance from its occupier.
Games, mostly. Sometimes I read.
Carl rubs his chin, opening his muzzle, closing it, then opening it again.
You know, it would be pretty cool if you spent the night one of these days. That house could be creepy as hell when you're the only one in it.
You're alone?
Yeah, parents are vacationing in the regal paradise, having a bloody good time, they tell me.
Carl tries to put on an accent, but he doesn't do a very good job at it. Oh, you want to go with them? Carl blows a raspberry, laughing.
Not really. Mom told me right away that weed isn't legal there either, so I took that as them not wanting me to come along.
Oh.
They did say that the chocolate there is real, whatever that means, and that they'd be bringing me some. Guess I'm not enough of a fat ass yet.
Come on, Carl.
But dude, I'm getting there. Soon all I'll have to do is stand in front of the mirror, block out my face, and jerk it to my moobs.
I'm making a dumb snorting, croaking sound, and I can feel TJ looking at the two of us disapprovingly.
Not the hottest thing to do when you're high.
Wait, so you've actually done it? Carl shrugs, smirking at me. I reach out and grab his chest. From what I can tell, there's a pretty firm set of pecs under there. Carl puts a mock horrified look on his face.
Sexual assault! He touched my breast!
Ah, whatever, Carl. They're harder than mine.
So, now we're teenage girls in the locker room comparing racks?
Hey, you're the one that brought up tits.
Hey, you know what? I can see it, yeah. You're the preppy one everyone likes. I'm the big fat chick you're all nice to, but call Big Thunder Mountain behind her back. And TJ!
TJ hadn't been paying attention, distracted while watching some dancers on the stage. He looks innocently at us.
Huh?
You're the cute, naive Christian chick that early takes it up the butt so as to stay a virgin.
What?
Let me feel your boobies, I want to compare.
What in the world are you No!
Small but perky.
After a few seconds of tussling and Carl getting smacked in the nose by TJ, somebody shushes us from behind and we're forced into silence. The show starts off with a bunch of mice having a weird sort of hoedown. TJ's really into it and actually starting to clap along. I smile. TJ definitely could be kind of cute sometimes. Carl just rubs his nose and leans back, watching with a smirk as the whole thing is a big joke to him. At this point, my eyelids were feeling really heavy. I've gotten maybe 4 hours of sleep last night. I think leaning my head back, but the backs of the seats are pretty low and just end up with my head hanging over the back. Leaning forward would be impossible. I could lean on one of my friends. I don't think they'd mind. I'm gonna lean on Carl. I think I'll lean on Carl. But yeah, definitely Flynn was getting some character development by not being a complete and total jerk. Let's lean on Carl. He's a big pillow anyway. Carl is definitely the better choice. Bigger and probably softer. He'd make a nice pillow. Carl, I'm gonna use you as my bed. Put my head on his shoulder and close my eyes, feeling the soft, puffy, sleeveless hoodie as his bulk under my head. Weirdly enough, he was pretty damn sturdy. I'd expected him to feel like a pillow pluff.
Damn, Chase, you that tired?
Uh-huh.
Well, alright then.
I feel him shift, and suddenly he's putting an arm across the back of the bench, giving me more support. The gesture makes me feel a little warm, and I can feel TJ's eyes upon us, but I ignore him, enjoying the position of intimacy. The sounds of the clapping and fiddles start to drift away as the lack of sleep takes its toll. Uh-oh. Dream sequence. I feel along the rough edges of the rock and the dirt. The only thing I can hear is the shower of debris I'm knocking to the ground. The air is stale, and I have the vague feeling that I'm suffocating. I keep going. I'm gonna reach the end eventually, and just have to keep moving. I can tell that I'm going down deeper and deeper. The space around me is growing smaller and smaller, and soon, I'm hunching so that my head doesn't scrape the ceiling. I can hear footsteps. Not quite in synchrony with my own. They aren't any kind of footsteps that I've heard before, though. I stop and listen. There is definitely the sound of feet, but not like they're walking. It's like they're stamping down on the ground, making as much noise as possible. That is accompanied by a slapping sound, as if someone is smacking their paws on the ground as well. I imagine a canine toddler, still insisting on walking on all fours while throwing a tantrum. It's heavier, though, like an adult is doing it. That image makes the nape of my neck prickle, but I'm not scared. It's not long after I've stopped that the noise stops as well. Just 10 feet behind me, I turn, watching the darkness. I knew you'd come back. They always do. My voice sounds clogged, muted, like the rocky walls are just sucking up the sound instead of bouncing them down the tunnel. The stamping starts up again, loudly coming back at me at full speed. Now I can hear sobbing, sniffling, and a strange guttural grunting. It's just feet away. You're only moving in circles! It veers away just as the words leave my mouth, going back the way it came. I stand there a while, listening until I can't hear it anymore. I turn and continue on, feeling the walls again as I make my way lower and lower. The smell hits me, right as my paws hit it. Slick and slippery. Blood coats the wall and my paw runs along like thick oil. It's warm and fresh, and now I know I'm getting close. A voice abruptly echoes down the tunnel. It's not far away at all.
I know you'd come back. They'd always do.
I make my way closer and closer now. Fear pricks my heart.
They always do.
I hear muffled screams now, as if someone is yelling with their mouth closed. Now the fur is standing up all over my body, but my feet won't stop. I keep going. I'm getting closer and closer.
You're only moving in circles.
I'm here. It's right here in front of me, and now I'm reaching out to it, reaching out to touch it. I can't stop. I can't stop. I jump. My head jerks. I'm up and my eyes open, looking around wildly. It's like I just came up from being underwater too long.
Shit!
Wow!
TJ and Carl both jump shortly after I do. I look back and forth and they stare wide-eyed back to me. It takes me a second to realize that I'm still at Southwest Adventures at the stage, watching shows.
Jesus fuck, dude, you alright?
Keith, Carl!
I lean forward and rub my face on my paws, trying to stop shaking. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just a really bad dream. I feel a small paw to my back as TJ rubs it.
What about?
I'm not really sure. Just a really dark place and some things were in there.
That does sound pretty creepy. What kind of things?
I think for a minute. The weird crawling thing, the screaming thing, and pull my head up, looking towards the stage, which is empty right now. It doesn't matter. It was just a dream. What happened to the show? Carl chuckles next to me, leaning back again.
You missed him, dude. We've seen like 3 shows.
Yeah, and even had a segment with the otters doing water tricks. We thought about waking you up for it, but you were in a really deep sleep.
That's too bad. I always loved seeing my people laughed at for the swimming clowns they are. Damn. Well, how long's it been? Carl checks his phone while he already has out.
It's been about 3 hours. Could probably get some lunch now.
Damn, I've been out for a while. I'm surprised I hadn't at least woken up a few times, considering the uncomfortable position I'd been in.
I guess you feel better then?
Yeah, been feeling better for the past 2 hours.
Yeah, me too. And I'm also hungry.
Well, of course you are. It's already 2 p.m. and I've composed myself for the most part, so I take out my phone and text Leo. We're hungry. We should meet back up. Gets back to me pretty quickly.
Okay, must be done. Written ads anyway. Meet at food court.
We meet Flynn at a table in the food court where he's already brought some pizza. Carl immediately sits down and pries open the box, taking a few slices.
Of course. You guys have fun.
It was alright. Watched a few shows about our state's species' history. Chase took a nap.
Flynn eyes TJ, who wasn't saying anything as he sits to take his own slice of pizza, a bit more daintily than Carl had.
Feeling better, Tej.
Yeah, I'm fine.
TJ nipples a bit of cheese pizza.
Yeah, well, the pizza here is a hell of a lot scarier than any of the rides, so you're braver than I am.
Where are Leo and Jenna? Flynn rolls his eyes and nods towards a row of carnival games to the right of the court.
Fighting. They've been playing those games for a fucking half hour already.
Well, I'm not surprised. I grab my own slice of pizza and a napkin and make my way over there. Keeping with the theme of the Old West, the carnival section of the park is decked out with fake saloons and brothels. I spot them pretty quickly, Leo holding a pink unicorn and Jenna's carrying a green dragon. They seem to be in pretty good spirits, though Leo's grin is a little tight. Oh, looks like a pretty successful haul, you guys.
Hey, cheers!
Jenna's grinning, looking a little smug as well. You guys finished? We're eating now. Leo shifts the giant unicorn around.
Yeah, we're pretty much done, I think.
Damn, Leo, you must have done something pretty great to get that.
Yeah, that was me.
I look over at the green dragon Jenna's holding. But what about that?
Yeah, I won this too.
Oh, well, I'm sure you've won a couple?
Actually,
Yeah, I've beaten him at every game.
yeah, well, you're visiting. I want your memories of this vacation to be good. Obviously, it's getting to your head, though.
Oh, please. Chase, you should have seen his face. Sour grapes the whole time.
Oh, really? I would usually stay out of stuff like this. Leo always gets a little carried away when it came to competition, especially when I was around. But it was kind of funny seeing him act like this.
Let's just go eat.
Wait, there's a high striker. Why don't we show Chase who's stronger, huh?
Leo contemplates that for a second, but seems pretty confident about this one. He's literally almost twice the size of Jenna.
I don't know if that's very fair to you, Jenna. I mean,
He lets that sit, and honestly, I have to agree. Jenna, though, gets a little fox gleam in her eye that I knew meant she thought she knew something we didn't.
Afraid I'm gonna woo your ex?
Wow, Jenna's going all out. My muscle flushes under the fur, but that only seems to decide things for Leo. A confident smile replaces the sheepish one from before.
oh yeah?
He flexes his shoulders and sticks out the stuffed unicorn to me. I stuff the last of the crust into my mouth and reach out to take it. Jenna does the same thing, and now I'm hugging two massive stuffed animals to my sides, tripling my girth.
Alright, let's do this.
Step right up, test your strength. $3, 3 tries, ring the bell, win a prize.
I'd like a try.
Ah, we have a big take. A big, strong wolf like you would have no problem at all. $3, please. Leo hands over the money, and the carny hands him a mallet. Leo pointed at me with a grin.
This one's for you, Chula.
My heart skips a beat. He hadn't called me that in a while. But I decide to play along. Don't disappoint me, Leo. I really want that stuffed griffin. They point out to the griffin on the carny's long shelf of toys.
Sure thing.
Leo spreads his legs and squares his shoulders before raising the hammer and bringing it down into the hard rubber-looking pad. It's a pretty hard hit, but the chaser only raises up to about the 40 mark. Oh, almost, Sir Wolf. Try again. Leo's brows furrows, and now I'm not sure this was a good idea. He raises the mallet again and grunts as he brings it down even harder, causing the contraption to shake a little. This time, the chaser shot up to the 70 mark. Even better, this time, put your back into it. I can hear Leo growling a little as he raises the mallet a final time and bringing it down with a snarl with all his muscles in his arms standing out. I'm pretty sure I feel the ground shake this time as the impact causes more than a few heads to turn. This time the chaser only goes up to the 60 mark. Leo gapes at the game. So close! $3 more will get you 3 more tries. Would you like to try again?
Nope, my turn.
Jenna already has her money ready and hands it to the carny. Oh-ho! A little battle between the sexes, huh? Well, step right up, my fair fox maiden. How will you fare against the big bad wolf? Leo reluctantly hands the mallet to Jenna.
Alright, beat 70.
Jenna points the mallet at me, winking.
Don't worry, Chase. I'll get that griffin for you.
Leo snorts loudly, folding his arms and looking pretty annoyed.
Good luck. I was hitting that thing, yes.
Before he can finish, Jenna raises the mallet into the air and pulls it into a graceful swing. Fire, 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 fire! Sorry. Mallet and girl just makes me think of Amy from Sonic Adventure. It's as if she were chopping wood and she was bringing it down hard into the rubber pad. It lands precisely and cleanly, in sharp contrast with Leo's slippery, sloppy hits. I stare, Leo stares, the carny stares. Jenna simply raises her paws in the air.
Yay!
A few onlookers around us laugh and cheer. Oh, oh, oh my, the fox has won! Come over and pick your prize! He glances at Leo. Sorry, buddy. The carny shoots a sympathetic but also amused smile Leo's way before turning to the onlookers. See that? A female fox half the size of this male wolf has rung the bell. Could one of you be next? Leo looks mortified but quickly changes his expression to a sheepish grin. He doesn't seem to want to look at me.
Good job, Jenna.
Jenna bounces back to us carrying the big stuffed griffin.
Give those ones to Leo so I can give you this.
I hand off the stuffed toys to Leo, who grumbles a bit as he takes them.
Damn, that's rigged.
Jenna hands me the griffin. Thanks, Jenna. That was really... She leans over and pecks me on the cheek. I see Leo's eyes widen as she does it, his ears standing straight up.
Aw, it was nothing.
Leo stands there for a few more seconds, working his jaw.
Awesome.
He turns away and leaves, his arms still wrapped around the giant stuffed toys. Jenna starts laughing. Jenna!
Oh, hush, she'll get over it. He's just so damn fun to tease.
I have to agree, but not when I'm being used to tease him. He's still really sensitive about the whole thing.
You guys talked it over, didn't you? Anyway, aren't you gay?
I take a deep breath. I'll say this. Yeah.
See? He's got nothing to worry about.
I'm not in the mood to go in depth about my sexuality. Saying anything else confuses people. I sigh and rub my eyes with a paw, still a little tired.
Hey, don't tell Leo that I work at the Stale Fair every year.
Yeah, I won't... Yeah, state fair, sure. I wasn't planning on telling him that. The rest of the day is pretty relaxing. We ride a few more of the mellow rides. Leo seemed to cheer up when I volunteered to sit next to him on the Ferris wheel. TJ even built up the courage to the point where he rode the swinging ship. Flynn and Carl rode the slingshot together, and the video feed from the ground, I think, was the first time I've ever seen Flynn scared. Carl did end up barfing after that one, though. By about 6 p.m., everyone's tired enough that we agreed to head back. I'm still exhausted, so I sleep for the half hour it takes to get back to the motel. When we do get back, I notice how good the sun looks right now. With a sigh, I'm reminded that I'm here to actually get a project done, not to just play around. So as everyone sits in the motel, I let them know I'm about to shoot some B-roll, gathering up my equipment and heading out into the heat. Dragging it outside, I set up, sweating even under the evening light. Even this late in the day, heat was pissing me off. For some reason, it's a lot cooler in Pueblo. My mind drifts back to the many days of summer under the blazing sun, the temperature rarely dipping below 100. I'm amazed poor TJ never had a heat stroke. When I put my eye in the viewfinder, I'm a bit disappointed of how broken down the town looks, even with the amazing backdrop. God, what a dump.
Yeah, I'll say.
It's then that I hear footsteps and talking behind me. I pause my recording and turn around.
How's the filming?
It's alright. Kinda ran out of sun, but it's okay. Echo looks like crap no matter what kind of light you shoot it in.
Do you need us to keep quiet?
No, I'm just shooting B-roll. Was about to come back in.
Let's stay out here a minute. Carl and Flynn are getting a little loud. Besides, I want to talk to you too.
He wraps an arm around Jenna and reaches out the other one to pull me in so that we're both flanking him. I feel my shoulders press into the warm bulk of his side and chest. He's always been taller than me. My eyes barely come up to his chin, but now it seems like he was almost twice as wide. He's definitely put on more muscle than I saw him last. While he was always pretty muscular, he'd been more on the lean side. Now his chest and biceps puffed his shirt out tight. It felt nice, though, like something very sturdy wrapped in velvet. I suppose it was a mixture of adding on both muscle and fat. I'm at least happy to see he's gotten over his little defeat to Jenna.
Look at us, the OG crew.
Leo's strong voice vibrates from his body into mine, the effect is tranquilizing, and I feel myself relax.
Together again.
The only thing I miss about this town. Jeez. Leo's referring to the fact that he, Jenna, and I were the original 3 in our group of 6 to become friends. Later we would add TJ, then Carl, and finally Flynn. And Sydney. Leo had been really the one to unite us all.
I remember when you first got here, everyone was afraid of you.
I remember when I got here, I found a bunch of gringos who wouldn't even talk to each other.
We all went to the same school in Peyton and had our different friends there. When Leo moved in, he thought it was strange that the kids in Echo didn't hang out together. As I entered middle school and high school, I cycled through a ton of different friends, but the ones in Echo always stayed the same.
Remember when we'd always have sleepovers at Jace's place?
Oh, of course. I kick your ass at Claws of Fury all the time.
Yeah, I remember. I used to think you guys were only friends with me for my video games. Many times I'd fallen asleep to the flickering of the old CRT television set, watching the outlines of Jenna and Leo twist to the side as they played. I would wake up hours later only to find them still playing. It was weird. Jenna and Leo would always get along really well, but there was a bit of competitive streak between the two. Actually, it's one of the few things that lets Leo get genuinely angry. I think he's even broken one of my controllers once.
How long has it been since we first met?
Well, when did you move in?
I think it was 2000.
So, take 2015 and subtract 2000. What does that leave you with, Leo? Leo looks sideways at me and smirks. There's a flash of white canines as it appears from under his lip for a moment.
You think yourself a real hotshot now that you're in college,
I smirk back, though I knew my canines aren't as impressive. Pretty much, yeah.
Well, you'll always be those little brats to me.
I felt Leo's wagging tail swat me in the butt. Not really sure how I feel about that.
Speaking of which, are you two getting along over there?
Jenna looks at me around Leo's broad chest.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, we haven't had many chances to hang out.
Yeah, why not?
Well, it's college. It's also a pretty large university. I don't even think we've ever seen each other in passing.
Yeah, things are different. But Jenna, we should do something together soon, before you graduate.
Oh, definitely.
Leo still looks a little disappointed that me and Jenna aren't keeping up at the university, but I don't know why. She had her friends, I had mine, and we did talk sometimes. Jenna nudges into Leo, causing us all to sway.
And speaking of that, when are you going back to Mesa?
Mesa is the community college in Payson. Leo went there a few semesters before taking a break. And by break, I mean he quit.
Well, see, I'll have to talk to my parents. It's just starting to get really busy.
Why don't they hire more people then? You know you would have graduated by now. You would have had your master's by now.
Leo sighs.
It's about committing to the family business, not the help he needs.
Jenna rolls her eyes, blowing out some air and ruffling the tuft on her head.
Gosh, wolves and their families. You should try thinking and speaking for yourself sometimes. If I hadn't done that, I'd still be stuck in that crank house.
Jenna flicks her head vaguely in the direction of where she used to live. Jenna's the only one aside from Carl who has a family still living in Echo. I wonder if she's going to visit them, even though I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to that. I see Leo tighten his arm around her shoulder, but she goes without missing a beat.
And you could start with our otter here.
I look up, caught unawares. Huh? What?
Jenna,
Look, I'm serious.
Jenna puts her paws in Leo's face, cutting him off.
I am not going to spend this entire week with you asking me when or how you should do it. Let's rip off the band-aid now. Chase?
Jenna,
There's a warning tone in Leo's voice as he pins back his ears and drops his arms from our shoulders. I already know what's happening. It's been a long time coming. I take a step back and fold my arms, looking to the side.
Chase, Leo has some things to say to you, and yes, it's about that. Now I'm gonna head back and make sure Carl didn't light up the bathroom.
Jenna.
His tone changes to exasperation as Jenna turns on her heels and leaves. Judging by the curl in her tail, I can tell that she pretty much satisfied with what she'd just done. I return my attention to the road. I couldn't really bring myself to look at him right now. We both stand there for a minute, 3 feet apart. I hear Leo scruff the ground with his foot, then sniff as the dust rises up from the ground. I hear him draw in a breath a few times as he's going to say something, but ends up blowing it out with a sigh. We were never good at this, probably why it ended up failing like it did. Leo?
I'm sorry, Chase.
For what?
Not talking to you about this when I should have. Talking to Jenna about it when I should have been talking to you.
He reaches out and sets a paw on my shoulder, the silver anchor on his wrist glinting just a bit in the fading light. He's smiling at me, but I grit my teeth. Why are you still wearing that? His eyes flick from the bracelet, then back to my face, expression turning defensive.
Why you're still wearing yours? Don't you remember what we said?
I sigh, looking at the scattering of the clouds behind Leo's head. They're tinged a soft pink from the fading sun. The sunset had almost the same color as Leo's fur. Leo, we were teenagers.
That's not an answer.
He cuts me off and I look back at him.
I told you they weren't love bracelets. They weren't just about our relationship. They were about everything. Our family, friends, memories.
Echo. I raised my voice above his, cutting him off this time. They were about Echo, Leo. We stand there a while, and Leo looked closely at me, expectantly, his ears tipped forward. His eyes pierced me like an amber shard. It was always hard to look at him in the eyes during our arguments. What? Do I have to say it? Alright, fine. I fucking hate this place. Everything about it. It's the most miserable goddamn place I've ever been.
How many places have you been?
Enough to know that it's miserable. Most everyone here's old, obese, on welfare. Half of them are probably on meth. Leo pulls in a deep breath and blows it over my head. I can smell the bell peppers on his breath.
No one likes it here, Chase.
I mean, it was an anchor. I'm half laughing. Just looking at it made me feel like I was still tied to this town. I didn't need it reminding me of all of that awful stuff. I know it was supposed to symbolize our being each other's rocks or whatever, but it stands for a lot more than that.
But a lot of good things happened here, too. No one should forget where they came from.
Sometimes I wish I could. At this point, Leo's deflated a bit, going into a slouch, his ears lowered.
Wait, you said was. You didn't get rid.
No, I still have it. It's just in a drawer in my dorm room. Honestly, if it was anything else, like one of those infinity bracelets we saw, I wouldn't have trouble wearing it.
Well, fuck. Why didn't you say anything when we were buying them?
I didn't know it was going to be a problem. Leo takes in a deep breath again before blowing it out, puffing out his chest this time.
Puchita, Otter.
He puts a paw to his eyes and holds it there for a few seconds. It's a pose I'm very familiar with. Even though I haven't seen it in a few years, I'm hit with a wave of memories, mostly of me embarrassing moments with Leo somehow. We decided on the anchors mostly because they looked pretty. Leo had referenced some wolf metaphor about roots and how they were always drawn back to them. Also some bullshit about how otters were great sailors, but really it was just aesthetic. For some reason over the years, I'd begun to associate the anchor with being stuck in Echo. It was when I started connecting the anchor to Sydney that it had taken off. It was too much.
Anyway.
Leo brings me back to the present, and I focus back on him.
What I was trying to say was that I'm still not okay with how you felt.
Leo, I said I was sorry, and I still am.
Or have you stopped talking to me for a while?
Okay. I was a kid. I thought I had a good tactic. Like Jenna said, rip off the band-aid, you know? We did start talking again, after all.
It was more like you punching me in the gut than kicking me in the balls. The problem was that you didn't even give me a chance to say anything, or at least tell me why you said you broke it off.
I stay silent for a while, then finally look up, settling my jaw. Like I said, I was young and dumb. I didn't know how to handle it. I can keep apologizing, or we can move on and make the most of this. We only have 1 week, and I want to have fun. Leo looks to the side, paws on his hips, as if contemplating, and then looks back at me with a smile.
Alright, fine. But don't think you're up the hook. I still want to talk soon.
Soon, just not right now. I stand there awkwardly for a few moments then, because it feels appropriate, to step in to give him a hug. He takes it willingly, and he's warm and strong. For a moment, I wonder why the hell I dumped this guy. Just then, someone laying on the horn as they drive past us, pulling me out of my reverie. Fags! I lean back so I can watch the car speed down the empty road. Leo keeps holding me, though, and he just chuckles.
Echo hasn't changed much, has it?
No, it hasn't. God, that... what the hell? What the fuck? I hate people like that. I've had that happen to me like a few times. Not exactly like that, but just like... just, different things. Just holy shit. The silly gravelly growl for Leo worked better before it turned serious. Really? Yeah. Is it silly? Is it silly? Ah, shit. Okay, if it comes off as silly, I'll have to keep that in mind. I seriously want to see what is possible with my, my vocal, with my voice. I want to try and open up my, my talents a bit with that. But yeah, thanks for telling me it comes off as silly. As we're saying our goodbyes, I reminded Leo of the shots I needed of the lake. He says he'll talk to the other two about it after they leave. We all say our goodbyes before Leo, Carl, and Flynn take off. TJ takes his usual hour getting ready for bed while Jenna does some schoolwork. By the time I'm finished brushing my teeth, I'm still grateful to see them both in bed. I get under the covers next to TJ and lay there for about an hour, staring at the ceiling. Slowly I slide out from under the covers, careful not to wake TJ. Quietly I slip my jeans on and grab my jacket before heading out the door. Toby built a small sandcastle next to the lake, in the process of digging a moat around it. Jenna drops a few twigs next to it before running off to find more decorations. Flynn is talking to Sydney, pointing at Toby's sandcastle. Sydney looks hesitant but excited. He seemed to make up his mind, suddenly running forward and kicking the top of the tallest castle. It breaks easily, with most of it flying into Toby's face. Toby flinches back, shocked before immediately crying as he rubs at his eyes. Jenna comes running from across the beach, yelling before shoving at Sydney, who's laughing. She turns to Toby, trying to help him clean his face, but the lynx pushes her away before running towards the trail back to Echo. Oh shit. So that was all on Saturday. Oh, sweet. Day one. Let's save it there for a bit. There we go. Back. But how's the story so far? Honestly, for me, I'm liking what's going on right now. It's very nostalgic to me too. Like these areas, they're just these are like places I've seen before. At least that's how it feels. But yeah. Honestly, which voices should I stop doing? Just give me some input. As far as the voices I've been doing, what voices are good or what voices are bad? Should I just, I would suggest reading normally, but I'm still trying to, like, find ways to, like, what do you call it? I'm still trying to exercise, I guess. If I do a visual novel, I kind of want to have the voices stand out a bit from each other, you know? Just so that it's easy to kind of understand who is talking, at least. But yeah. Figured I'd ask a little input at this point. And just, I don't know, see what falls out. It is important for me to, I don't know, interact a bit more. But yeah. I am just getting into this, though. It is really fun. And looking at the time, there's like, let's say like 15 more minutes. So we'll get like a little see at this, and then we'll see what happens next week. But yeah. Yeehaw River feeds Emma Lake from the north. It's a farther drive than the lake itself, but it does have a few nice clearings along its edge. One of them has a few benches and a rusted to hell public grill that I'm sure no one has used in decades. This is the first place that we go. As we're unloading Leo's van, I decided to get the B-roll of the lake right away. It won't have much of a presence in the packet, so I'm just gonna have to narrate over it later. The actual lake is only a few minutes walk from here. It's a bit difficult navigating around the sage bush, and I know I'm gonna have to check for ticks later. By the time I reach the lake, my friends are pretty far behind me, hidden behind a few bends and hills. I'm getting uncomfortable with the idea of me holding this camera while I navigate this terrain. It probably would have been better if Leo would just pack the car next to the reservoir while I got out to film, but I guess that still wasn't okay. There's a large square of paved ground next to the parking lot. Now several benches and a row of brand new grills. Several lamps have been erected over the area too. Leo was right about the town trying to turn the reservoir into a recreational spot. I can actually see a few jet boats skimming the water, leaving long trails of light behind them. There's even what looks like a feline of some sort fishing in the shallows. It would explain why the motel is still in business. Lake Emma is fairly small, only about 12 miles long and 5 wide. I look around before climbing onto a nearby hill to get my shots. Even with a few people there, it's still pretty quiet, aside from the train horns, and, well, this is kind of eerie. I rev up and start to quickly make my way back. It's hard to explain why I'm getting freaked out in the broad daylight with people around. Either it's because of what happened all those years ago, or I'm just psyching myself out. Glad to hear my friend's voice again as I get closer. And again, it sounds like they're fighting. All the voices are good and easy to differentiate. Leo's just sounds strange somehow. Maybe the accent. Maybe it's just that it's much more different to the others. Not counting Jenna, of course. Okay. So the voices are easy to differentiate, but you feel like... Okay. So you're saying that Leo's voice just stands out a lot, or maybe too much. Okay, let me see if I can't craft something sort of different. I'll probably have it sound the same as I try and work my muscles into some kind of a less harsh sounding, I guess? Let's see.
I've been acting like a dick all day.
Yeah, I'd be glad I came here at all.
Apparently it would have been better if you hadn't.
Well, maybe I should just fucking leave then.
It sounds a lot more serious than our usual squabbles, so I quicken my pace. They seem to quiet down a bit once they see me coming. Teiji's off to the side, looking over the next river, occasionally throwing a rock into it. Carl sits in a lawn chair, one of the 6 that have been set out in a semicircle. He has his chin on his fist and he lazily stares at me. Jenna and Leo both stand next to each other, looking at Flynn, who's got his back turned, rummaging through the cooler. Hey, what's wrong? Leo sighs.
Nothing.
See, that's really hard to do. It's really hard to try and move that into something else. But let me still think. I'll keep doing the normal voice until something comes to me.
Nothing. I get your film.
Yeah, I got it. The silence is still awkward, and I have no idea what the hell to do with myself. I finally realize that I'm still holding the camera and decide to put that away. Hey, I'm gonna go for a quick swim. I haven't been in the water in a while. When we first got here, I was completely disappointed to find that the motel didn't have its own swimming pool. Being an otter, I like to swim at least once a day, if not more. At this point, it had been 3. Flynn had finally turned around, a beer in his hand as he cracks it open. It was true that he'd been acting a bit strange today. He'd held the entire trip up by a few hours, and when he'd finally shown up, his eyes were bleary and he seemed sluggish, like he'd been up all night. When we'd asked if he was alright, he brushed us off.
Yeah, thanks for the help setting up Chase. You're about as useful as this fat ass over here.
He swings the paw, holding the beer to Carl.
Flynn.
So enjoy that swim while I set everything out.
Yeah, I will. Make my soda a diet while you're at it. I've had it with Flynn. He's souring the trip with his need to be an asshole.
Go fuck yourself.
I ignore him as I strip off my shirt and head to the riverbank. I pat TJ on the shoulder as I pass him before slipping into the river. We're currently in the middle of a drought that has lasted about the past 3 years. The water is low, only about 10 feet at its deepest. Okay, let me read your comment. It's really not that bad. It doesn't bring down the experience much. It just takes some getting used to. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I feel like it's important for me to, like, ask you guys questions more and stuff like that and talk to you during, like, these story segments. And I'm just learning how, like, what's the best way to do that. You know what I mean? But yeah. It's enough, though, and just, God, it feels so good. It's spring, so the water is pretty cold. I swim back and forth a few times before finally diving in. Eventually, I settle on drifting to the bottom, laying and gripping onto the rocky floor as I stare up at the shimmery light above me. Oh man, I gotta say, I know I can't do this for long, but I like doing the same thing. Like holding my breath and just lying at the bottom of, like, a pool and staring up. Something about that just seems so cool. Like, it's a place that you can't really stay for too long, but just lying down at the bottom of a swimming pool, at the bottom of the water and looking up. Something kind of nice about it. It just kind of feels so relaxing and serene. But yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I like that Chase is doing this. Eventually, I settle on drifting to the bottom, laying and gripping on the rocky floor as I stare up at the shimmery light above me. I feel the gentle current run over my body. It's nice to be away from all that tension above me. I feel isolated, alone, and for now, that feels good. None of the others could come down this deep. Only I was able to. I remember when we were younger, I would give the others rides around the lake, able to swim its entire length and back. Even Flynn the asshole had done it a few times. It was one skill that I was proud of, even if it was inherent to my species. It still made me somehow useful, or at least different from everyone else, in a good way. I always felt like I had something to add to the group, as strange as it sounds. Where everyone else had a strong, distinct personality, I was just average? Sometimes I wonder if they were just friends with me because that's all we had to be when we were younger. This whole trip had kind of forced me to think back on all the moments that I had of this place and my friends. They were always doing the cool things, being different, while I just sort of blended into the background. Even then, I wanted to do something, to stand out somehow. That's what I'm trying to do here, I guess. It's been about 7 minutes, and I only know that because that's about as long as I can hold my breath. I decided I should go back up and help out, so I slowly let myself float back up towards the surface, trying to stay in the same spot. When I surface, it's pretty quiet. For a second, I wonder if everyone just gone. Of course, that's ridiculous, and as I come over to the embankment, everyone's there. Predictably, Flynn didn't get my food out, so I got the cooler to grab a sandwich and soda before sitting in my empty chair next to Leo. Apparently, it was a good idea to bring lawn chairs, considering the tables looked like they were covered in a year's worth of bird shit.
How was the swim?
His tone is bitter and salty. He's not in his usual grumpy but good-natured mood. He's genuinely unhappy. What the hell was his deal? Ugh, amazing. I'm gonna have to come back here again sometime during the week. You lizard people don't understand. You hardly even need water.
It always scares the hell out of me when you're down there that long.
Hey, I'm built for it.
Remember when you'd give us rides? Oh, that was so fun.
Remember when you'd always scream like a girl when Chase would go out too far?
Oh wow, I remember that now.
Hey, I never really liked water. Anyway, Chase would do it on purpose. You know I didn't like it out at a certain point.
Carl looks at me.
You know, that was really cool when you'd take us down for a dive.
Oh yeah, Cheese was like our little submarine.
I'm starting to get that otters are swimming clowns vibe again. Still, I kind of enjoy the attention.
We'd get you to take us to the bottom so we could look for treasure.
Leo makes air quotes around the last word. And you know, we probably would have found way more stuff if you guys hadn't been dragging me down. I remember when...
Are we really fucking talking about this?
Everyone turns to look at Flynn. His voice is low and dangerous. There's a chill in the air because we all know what he means. I was actually feeling pretty good about it at this point, like we crossed a bridge to being able to talk about it for once. Apparently we hadn't.
Flynn.
No, I'm serious. Do you think it's okay to fucking talk about this when the lake is just a quarter mile that way?
You know what, Flynn? I think we should. Isn't that part of the reason why we're here?
No. If that were the case, we'd be over there. But we're here. And why is that?
Everyone is quiet for a moment. I see TJ shirk into his chair, staring hard at his lap.
Flynn, we came here because Chase needed footage.
A change comes over Flynn. His face darkens, and everyone senses it. Flynn turns to me, and it takes some effort not to flinch back.
Yeah, and why is that, Chase? You gonna put that in your fucking documentary?
No, Emma Lake is an important part of Echo's history. I just...
Just what?
Flynn raises his eyebrow ridge at me, and finally just lowers my eyes.
This was a fucking stupid idea.
You know what, Flynn? If you get a little bit more open, tell us what's on your mind. We'd be able to avoid all this kind of stuff.
Oh, you wanna know what's on my mind?
Flynn swivels and marches up to Carl.
Alright, let's start with you. You're fat, lazy, no motivation, no future. What the hell are you planning on doing with your life? Sit here, waste away, and not go mooching off your parents until you're dead?
Carl stares back at Flynn impassively, though he hunches in on himself a little bit further.
Flynn, don't do this right now.
And you, thinking you're better than everyone else. Until you think everyone in Echo is trash. Just because me and the others haven't left, you think that we're lower than you. Just because you don't have an education. That we don't have an education, that we're a bunch of retards. Yeah? Well, you left your whole fucking family behind without even saying goodbye. You know what's going on with them right now? What they're dealing with? Yeah, real fucking hero you are.
You think I...
Stop it, Flynn.
And our unquestionable leader. We wouldn't have been friends without you, would we? That's why you brought us here, right? So we could all bond? Or, wait, is it just because you wanted to get into Chase's pants?
Leo's ears fall flat.
Probably. He's been a mess ever since he left. So let me be the one to tell you. It's over. It's fucking unhealthy. You're obsessed with him.
Slowly his head turns to me and I brace myself.
And I can't imagine why. You, Chase, have the personality of a fucking rock. I wish you could see yourself. You just sit there like a creep, watching everyone weighing everything that we have to say. And don't think I haven't caught the way you stare at all of us. Like we're all objects to be collected. What, are you just planning to cycle through all of us for sex? You sure seem like it.
Flynn stops and exhales. It seems like it's over. I really hope it is. That proves futile, though, as Flynn turns slowly to TJ. I had silently prayed that the Lynx would make a run for it while Flynn had all of his attention focused on us. But TJ looks apathetic. Like a statue, there's no soul in him. Flynn pauses, though, as if he's at a loss for what to say. Finally.
What happened, TJ?
Flynn.
Leo stands up from his posture. I could tell the wolf is ready to fight. Memories are starting to flow back. TJ. Flynn thinking he'd done something. Something too. I stand up too. Flynn may sound like a hard ass, but physically Leo had him beat, easily. Flynn can obviously tell that he might have a fight on his hands, though, and it's clear he doesn't want that. He drops his shoulders, seeming to shrink, as if its invisible strings had been holding him up or cut. He turns to us and gestures to TJ.
Look, I just want the truth. Can we just put a stop to this today? Right now? I don't think you know how much of a nightmare this has been for me. Not really knowing. TJ
stares up at Flynn, muzzle set grimly.
What happened to Sydney?
It's dead quiet. TJ stares at his lap, not moving.
Come on!
Come on! Stop! Flynn holds up a hand towards me, still staring at TJ. Slowly, TJ looks up at his face, still stoic, still made of stone.
I already told you what happened.
Bullshit!
Flynn steps forward, but Leo's there to grab the back of Flynn's shirt and swing him around. I dodge out of the way as Flynn is flung back to land on his ass, kicking up a big cloud of dust.
Shit!
Flynn, I swear to God, if you start a fight here, I'll drop your stupid ass.
Everyone except TJ is standing around now, staring at Flynn. Flynn sits there, staring up at Leo, obviously weighing his chances. He seems to come up short, though, as he spits to the side and stands up, brushing off his pants as he turns away.
You're all okay with that not knowing. Fuck all of you!
He turns back around, hands in his pocket, a bitter look on his face.
This whole thing was stupid, Leo. We're not even friends anymore.
Flynn scuffs the ground before turning and walking towards the trail that goes back to Echo.
God damn it, Flynn.
Fuck off.
Flynn keeps walking, and it's pretty clear that he isn't coming back. I raise up a paw and rub it over my eyes. What was he doing? He's a passionate guy that will sometimes just explode with all these insecurities before running away and hiding for a few days. He's skewered us all like that before. That was classic Flynn. But he was especially mean, dark. And that part with TJ, I vaguely remember Flynn having some sort of suspicion, but that had been a long time ago. Had he been sitting on that this whole time? I look to the left and see that TJ's gone. Carl's still sitting down, but now it looks like he's pulling out a joint. Leo's walking down another trail, cursing while Jenna follows him. I stand there next to my chair, undecided. Oh, holy shit. So I can go to Carl, Jenna, or Leo, Flynn. I think I'm gonna go after Flynn. I don't know where... Honestly, I'm not gonna go after any kind of weird... any person. I think I'm just gonna go after, whatever can resolve the situation. So wait, you actually go at the bottom of your swimming pool too, just to relax? That's nice. Also, like, 9 minutes. I'm gonna go after Flynn. I look back at Flynn as he winds his way down the trail towards the road. I sigh angrily, staring towards him.
Chase, I wouldn't...
Someone's gotta talk sense into that idiot. You think you could just get away with this shit?
You know how he is.
I keep walking. He's moving pretty slowly, so it's easy to catch up with him. He's got his hands jammed into his pockets as he walks along, his head down. Hey, Flynn! He jerks his head up, then looks back around at me. He's chewing on a toothpick while he promptly pulls it out of his muzzle.
The hell? What the fuck you think you're doing, Chase? Go back.
Yeah, right. You think you could just walk away from me after saying shit like that? He stops walking and turns around fully to face me. I step up right in front of him, just a few feet away. He looks me over, and for some reason I can see a smile threatening to crack his face as he tries to keep it hidden.
Yeah? And what are you gonna do about it?
I shrug. Talk? We were having a good time. Why do you have to go and turn everything good? He suddenly steps up close, thrusting his chest out into me, and it hits me around the neck and I stumble back.
Not in the mood.
He sticks the toothpick back in his muzzle before he turns away and starts walking again.
Go back to the river so you can all talk about what an asshole I am.
What? I watch him go for a bit. I'm not too worried about Flynn actually beating me up. I'd be annoyed at him pretty bad before, but he hadn't ever actually hurt me. At least not maliciously. On top of that, he'd have Leo to answer to if he ever did anything like that, and he knows how that would end up. Still, he did look pretty angry when he stepped towards TJ. More than I'd ever seen him, probably. Now might not be the best time to do this. I'm gonna keep going. Screw him. Once again, I think he acts as an asshole. He acts as an asshole, can just brush off whoever he's the one to talk to. Well, I'm about to show him exactly that doesn't work. When it's a stubborn otter he's up against. I start following again, just doing a little jog to catch up. This time Flynn hears me and whirls around, pulling the toothpick out of his mouth again.
Your ears filled with water? I said fuck off!
I flinch a little under his yelling, but I square my shoulders and walk up to him, standing my ground. Now I'm only 3 feet away. Or what, you gonna hit me? Really? Go on and try it. I look him in the eye and immediately I know I have nothing to worry about. This is Flynn after all, one of my best friends. Whether or not he'd ever admit to it, our little group is family, no matter how many stupid fights we get into. He's trying to scare me though, with the way he's leering over me, glaring. I just smirk up at him and pretty soon I see his facade crack. He slumps down, letting out one massive sigh, deflating like a life-size lizard balloon.
Fucking otters. What do you want?
I want you to stop being a dick. Flynn looks right back at me and glares, some of the posturing coming back.
What?
Oh Christ, you heard me.
That is not a good thing to say to me right now.
Flynn starts leaning back against me, and I lean right back, almost bumping muzzles. Yeah, well, everything you said back there was not a good thing to say. I see the corner of one of his eyes twitch. We're so close I could smell the beer on his breath. I see that smirk tug at his muzzle again.
Coming in for a kiss?
He presses even closer and I feel my muzzle flesh, but I'm not backing down. I see how it is. You're bored with...
I see how it is. Shut up! You're bored with Leo and now you want some lizard action, huh?
No, I just want an explanation. He raises an eyebrow and leans back a little. Of why you're being such a dick when we're all supposed to be having fun.
Actually, I think I know exactly what this is. You're trying to prove me wrong. Well, being an obnoxious twit doesn't suddenly mean you've got a personality. Anyway, they told me to speak my mind. I did.
He turns away again and starts walking. I quickly catch up and start walking alongside him. That's not an answer. Besides, even if something's true, it doesn't mean you have to point it out in the middle of everyone's vacation. Flynn keeps walking, opting to glare at the dusty trail. Do you really think I'm just about to bone all of you? I'm not! Flynn laughs, and for once, I'm not cynical. It's genuine.
I think what you're doing right now isn't helping your case, Chase.
What? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you, Flynn. My phone buzzes and I pull it out. It's from Leo.
Are you okay?
Everything's fine, and I'm just trying to talk to Flynn. Flynn snorts right in front of my ears, making me jump. I jerk my phone away as I realize he's been reading over my shoulder.
What? Wolfie Boy thinks I'm gonna clock you for being annoying?
You almost hit TJ.
Almost.
At this point, we're walking along Lake Emma Road, the trail winding between it and the reservoir itself. There's a little guardrail on the lakeside, but it's rusty and I seriously doubt that it would stop any car from going over into the lake. Another 10 minutes and we'll reach the motel. My phone buzzes again as I get a response from Leo.
If he does anything, call me.
Flynn sighs again. He stops and I turn to face him. He looks sad, for once staring hard to the ground.
I just sort of blacked out for a second. Look, I was angry.
That's what murderers say after they kill their exes.
Jesus, Chase. Well, okay, I fucked up.
Yeah, no shit.
It's just something that's been fucking with me ever since it happened. That he's not telling the truth.
Flynn looks up at me sharply.
You know he isn't.
Flynn's staring at me hard as if he's looking for something, and this time I do look away. Well, what if he is?
No, you saw him right after it happened. How scared he was. How he couldn't look at any of us.
I have no idea what to say. Flynn never talks about this. Before today was the last time I heard him mention Sydney was like 6 years ago.
It really fucked me up. And that we thought we could just come back to this stupid fucking lake.
He kicks his foot across the ground towards the reservoir, some petals falling over the steep drop and plopping into the water. It fucked us all up, but Flynn most of all. Look, Flynn, maybe something did happen. Something he doesn't want to let it tell us. But it's TJ. You know what kind of person he is.
And that's what makes it so fucking shitty.
But we were kids. He was like 10 years old. We're different people now. Looking behind Flynn, I see Leo's van coming up to the road. Flynn waits for me to go on, but he sees me looking back, and so does himself. As soon as he sees the van, he folds his arms and turns his head to look across the lake. As it pulls up alongside, the window rolls down, and I see Jenna in the passenger seat, Leo next to her.
Hey, we're heading back. Wanna get in?
Flynn doesn't say anything, instead choosing to continue staring at the lake. I decided that it's probably a good idea for me to walk with him instead of making him do it alone. Nah, that's alright. We're just talking. Leo shifts his gaze to Flynn, studying him before returning back to me.
Alright, text me later, okay?
Yeah, okay. The windows roll back up and the van pulls away, kicking up some dust from the roadside as it does. I turn back to Flynn, who's still looking at the lake, chewing slowly on his toothpick. That's when his stomach growls so loudly it almost makes me jump. I snort and Flynn fixes me with a glare.
What? I didn't get to eat.
Neither did I, which is your fault. Flynn grunts and keeps walking up the trail towards Echo, the town's windows and rusted signs glinting in the desert haze. I skip up alongside him. Hey, why don't we go to the diner? It's just a few minutes away. Flynn grimaces.
I can't eat that shit anymore.
What? When's the last time you ate there?
A few years ago.
Wow. What do you eat then? Flynn laughs.
I go to Peyton where they have actual grocery stores.
Oh, okay. A few moments of silence pass before Flynn speaks up again.
I guess it wouldn't hurt to eat there again, for old time's sake.
Well, that's really, really cool. I just want to have some time where we can talk a bit, but I actually really have been enjoying this. Yeah, I've got to say, I like, I don't know, Flynn seems pretty cool. Gonna talk to him for a bit and see what happens, next time. So yeah, this is a slow burn type sort of horror novel, so we're gonna have to play more in order to see more of it. So yeah, that'll be pretty fun once we actually do get to it. So I mean, hell yeah. I hope you guys all have a nice little night and whatnot. And yeah. Oh, it's not that. I need to fix that. Oh, I need to fix that too. Well, heck, I'm not starting anything. Heck, game. But yeah. It is, you guys are all great. You guys are all cool. Oh, shit. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's another one. There we are. Well, yeah. Good to see you all. Hope everything goes well. And, yeah, that's it from me. That is it from me, and I hope you guys have a beautiful, little, wonderful night. And, of course, whose house? Rat's house! More weird visual novel stuff next week. I might be planning other games as well. I'm not sure which games we would be playing. Gosh, I have no idea what we'd be doing next week. It's always a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, I don't know. It should be exciting. It should be cool. I don't even think I can really play more of this. Wonderful little Yoshi's Island. But yeah. Echo is, so far it's it's got a great mood to it, honestly. I like the mood, and I like to see where it goes. I'm enjoying, learning more about Sydney. Hearing more from, whatever happened with Sydney. I don't know, that'll be really fun. I don't know, I just hope that, we get to see some cool stuff. 'Cause, shit. Shit, I can tell that this game is, I can tell that Echo has some very cool, stuff in it. That's why it's been so popular and so well funded on whatever you call it. Oh, what's that service? Oh God, this is clearly a mistake. I clearly cannot think as I do that. But yeah, man, I'm happy though. I'm happy I finally get to delve into a brand new visual novel of sorts. But yeah, we'll see where this route goes, and I'll have some fun with it. Take it easy, everyone. See you around. Good night, all. Ba, 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 da.